Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Thelogicseekinglady speaking. Ugh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But as you all know, I'm finding the logic behind movies of today, and oh my god. And today's movie is actually the new Twilight movie called Twilight Breaking Dawn, and it is only part 1. And okay, let me tell you why I am doing this. First of all, since I did the same with the last movie of Harry Potter, where I reviewed both parts separately, I thought to myself, well, to prevent Twilight fanboys for being mad at me when this movie comes out, I thought, well, I might just do the same with the last Twilight movie. So, as much as I would not want to, I thought it would only be fair if I did. So I'm gonna review part 1 right now. But I'm putting up some rules. It's actually just one rule, but it's still a rule. The first and only rule is don't say I suck. 'Cause as I've said before, you don't want to mess with me, and I don't want to mess with you. So, if you say I suck, your comment will be removed and you will be blocked. Well, let's get on with this movie review, shall we? Well, first of all, let me take a look at the story. Yes, the story is very simple. Bella gets married, ends up pregnant, and the other characters doesn't know what the heck to do about it. And yes, she actually gets pregnant with Edward. Gee, what a surprise. Not really. Don't you think? Anyway, on to the characters. I don't want to talk about the story too much, but because I would give too much away. On with the characters. Let's talk about Bella. On second thought, let's not. She's still a mania-depressive, retarded. She's still the same. Excuse me. She's still the same mania-depressive, retarded person she was in the first place. And the only time she actually do say something very smart, nobody wants to listen. So I guess it doesn't really matter. Huh, folks? Well, anyway, on to Edward. Well, he is a tiny little bit more thoughtful, at least the first part of the movie. After that, he goes back to becoming the same. Yes, I know I shouldn't curse, but I'm gonna say it. The same perverted bastard that he was at the start. Yes. And so, forgive me for cursing again, but I just can't find a better way to describe this guy. I just can't. And seriously, I don't you yourself think it's perverted that when you meet a girl, that if a guy meets a girl, he stares at her very creepily and stalks her to the cafeteria to ask her if she wants to be his girlfriend? Yeah, that is kind of creepy. That's not romantic. That's creepy. And he is still, and as I said, he is still the same perverted bastard as in the first movie. And so are all the other vampires in other vampire movies, but he just takes it to the next level by actually marrying his prey. And he is also another thing in this movie. You know what that is? You know what that is? An asshole. Yes. He is an asshole in this movie. Why? Because when Bella gets pregnant, he has the ball to call his own baby an abomination. Okay, I'm not an expert when it comes to sex and all of that, but I do know this: it takes a woman and a man to create a child. It's not the woman's fault only. And if he calls his own baby an abomination, he's an abomination. So, yeah, that's about it. Anyway, and finally we have, the last main character out of the three of them. The main characters are Bella, Edward, and him I'm saying now, Jacob. For me, he is the only character in this movie that is somewhat likable, and he has something that the other people lack. Reason, yes, not the reason like a reason to do something, but I should call it something else. Like, yeah, there we go. Common sense. He has common sense. The other characters don't. And I can give you an example. He is asked. He makes a deal with Edward that says with his clan's leader tell him you have to kill the baby, and he tries to, but then he takes a look at the baby and says, you know what, this is crazy, I can't kill a baby. And there he actually shows that he has reason, and that doesn't just follow people blindly, which he as the only character actually does. He is the only character that uses common sense and uses his mind actually in this movie. And I feel so bad for him. He leaves his clan, ends up alone, and yet this stupid bitch doesn't want to be with him. What the heck? It's not fair. Anyway, as I said, and if you have probably found out, I'm a Jacob fan. And it's not because he has good looks. I'm an adult. And he's probably not even an adult, and if he is, I know that he probably has his own girlfriend and stuff, so I'm not gonna say I have a crush on him or something. No. The reason I like this character is, as I said, he is likable and he has reason. And third, he's a werewolf. I have always had a weakness for werewolves ever since I laid eyes on one in the first werewolf movie I saw, which is a long time ago, but still. So yeah, I'm a Jacob fan and I'm a werewolf fan. Well, and speaking of werewolves and vampires, I think it's a pity that in every vampire movie that the vampire always gets his way, always gets the pretty girl and sucks the blood out of her, and always gets the happy ending, while in a werewolf movie all that happens is the werewolf meets a pretty girl, maybe even loves her, but can't get close because of those crazy British hunters in all those movies. I mean, he loves her, she loves him, but they can't get close, and all because of he is very, very hairy. That's just unfair too. Well, anyway, on to the logic behind this movie. There is a bad news. There is a good news and a bad news. The good news is there is some logic in this movie. Unfortunately, it's not good. The logic behind this movie is one, that all women are idiots, which is not true because I have met many smart women in my life. Yes, let me give an example. University students, they are very, very smart, and they do it very good, most of them. And that's one logic this movie has. And the second thing is yes, how should I explain this? That all men or should I say the ideal man that every woman should like should be an idiot, a greedy, selfish idiot, which is not a good thing. I mean, you don't have to be a good greedy or selfish or an idiot to be a good husband. It's actually otherwise. If you are, you probably would get a divorce pretty quick. And finally, third, nice guys finish last. Which always is not. I don't know how to say the same. Which I think is the word bullshit. I have met a lot of nice guys. Yes, I said nice guy. The third one was nice guys always finish it last, which I know is not true because I have met a lot of guys who are very nice and they have a career, have an education and all of that, and even are married and have kids and everything. So, bottom line, the logic in this movie is not good. And I hope that not a lot of teenagers take this very personal and take this as an educational movie when it comes to getting married and all that stuff. Because then I'm afraid that all what women have fought for when it comes to freedom, permission to take an education, will be lost when the next generation grows up. Yes. So yeah, it's not good. And as the logical reasons behind the movie has pointed out, this movie is not only, like the last one's, offensive to women, it is also pretty damn offensive to men. I mean, whether you're a man or a woman, you will get offended by this. Well, that's the movie review for this movie. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go out and be part of a campaign, and at my high school, who involves me who involves me and some other people having to convince 17-year-olds that it isn't a good thing to get married so early. Wish me luck, I'm gonna need it. Goodbye, folks.